And we're on, and we're back with another episode of I Turned On a Microphone. I'll be your host today. I'm Darren Lace Jr., and I'm joined by Miller Farrow. Miller, how you doing?
Good.
And I Turn On a Microphone is pretty much a podcast where we talk film, the process of filmmaking, just our recent movies in general, just pretty much anything that has to do with the medium. We either shoot the shit or we shoot the shit. There's nothing really much else to it. But today we're going to be talking about the Oscars. I was originally going to just do like a solo episode talking about some of the summer movies that you may have not seen, but then luckily and unluckily something happened this weekend, and I was just like, hey, I have a topic for the episode. I have a different topic for the episode because this is something that needs to be talked about, and I think people would like to hear talked about, and it's the Oscars. The Oscars made a new decision today that was kind of met with, let me just get to it. They added a popular film category, and they shortened the time to 3 hours, and they shortened the runtime to 3 hours, and they also made something that really, really irks me. They won't televise all the awards. And Miller,
They will televise them all.
They will.
It's just not live.
Oh well, then, yeah, they won't televise them all.
Well, I mean, we'll still see them.
But will we get like the speeches and
Yeah,
we will.
I think so. I think it's just edited down.
I still don't like that.
Maybe I kind of got the impression that we wouldn't get all the speeches, or like we see them all, but we just won't get all of the speeches. But I don't think they would.
They said they are presenting some awards off air.
Yes, but then they'll be edited and put back into the broadcast later.
Okay. And they did do something I did like, though, of anything. I don't like any of this. I do not like any of this, but one thing I did like, they did push
Apparently
it.
Like something.
They did push it. They did push it. This is 2020, but they did push it a little up in 2020 to February 9th. It's February 9th. So,
Yeah, that makes sense because everything else. Well, actually, that's kind of weird.
I know Oscars is like the creme de la creme, but like that should probably be first.
It should, yeah, but now I think it's before the BAFTAs.
That's good. Because the BAFTAs is usually when we kind of just put two and two together. Like
it would make it less predictable, but it's like, if you, I think, like what you were saying, if you put it earlier, just put it at the beginning.
True.
Then, like, if you're going to make it earlier at all, you might as well just make it at the very beginning.
Because you have the time. If you're an Oscar winner, I think you have the time to get all these things done.
Yeah, because, like, I think the BAFTAs and I think the only, like, guild we get then is the Actors Guild. I think Producers Guild and Directors Guild, which are big indications, would be after. So, yeah, it would make it a little bit less predictable.
Yeah. But going back to the popular film, I guess just to discuss... Well, first off, the 3-hour thing, I don't like because the Oscars should... Well, first and foremost, the Oscars is not a television show. It's not a television show. It's an award ceremony. It should be able to run as long as it wants. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like a football game. It's whatever. It's not. They really should not be caring about ratings. They really should. I don't even think they should be caring about a younger demographic. I mean, the people who watch the Oscars are the people who watch the Oscars. That's just how it is. If you like film, you watch the Oscars. And like our friend Dylan, he's like what, 17?
I don't know.
Yeah, like he watches the Oscars. He's a younger demographic, but that's what he's into. He likes film. You're not going to get somebody who watches necessarily like the MTV Movie Awards or even the MTV Music Awards or something, or the Grammys. You're not going to get them to watch the Oscars.
People who don't care about the Oscars already are not going to watch the Oscars.
And if you want them to, there are other ways to fix that are not this. So I don't think the 3-hour thing is I just don't like that. All you have to do is just make an entertaining show, and there are other things you can remove. Don't have Jimmy Kimmel go to a fucking theater and shoot shit at people. Don't.
That was funny though.
Yeah, but it's just like not needed. Like
you don't need it.
You don't need it. Like cut down on some of the banter, or hire better writers to make better bits.
Or don't have a host.
Oh, that too. Don't have a host. That also works.
Just do the awards. That's why we're here.
Pretty much. And then you can have,
a very minimal host.
Actually, I like that. Don't have a host. Yeah. You don't need someone guiding the ship.
Well, that's the weird thing about the SAG Awards. Is, like, nothing against Kristen Bell, but she was the first host ever last year, or this year. And it just kind of dragged the whole thing down.
Yeah.
It works better when you don't have a host.
I never thought of that. Yeah. Not having a host. That's probably... you know what? I'm gonna some ideas.
Go back to, if you want to have a host, go back to 2 hosts because I think that works the best.
I don't think that's ever worked. I think those are I've only been watching the Oscars since like 2008. It's never worked with me. 2 hosts.
Yeah, I think it worked with James Franco and Anne Hathaway were horrible, but that was
Steve Martin and whoever the
I
other
like
guy
that.
was.
Those are good.
That was not funny to me. Was it Steve Martin and Billy Crystal?
Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin.
Okay, that didn't work for me.
Billy Crystal was a couple years later.
Billy Crystal really didn't work for me. Like I don't know what was.
I don't really remember much about him, but I thought he did good.
The only one that really worked for me was Hugh Jackman, and I also like Seth MacFarlane. I thought Seth MacFarlane was pretty good.
Yeah, they were both good. They were probably my favorites.
Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel's good. I think he is good, but.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't come back.
Yeah, I like changing it up every now and then. The popular film category. So I don't like the length. Are you for the length or?
I think it's reasonable, or it's reasonable to want to bring the length down, but don't do it in the way that they're doing it.
Don't compromise.
Well, like what you said, just cut down the stuff that doesn't need to be there. I don't care about the lengths. Never bothered me.
Yeah,
there are people older than me that has complained about the length, and I'm just like, it's just how it is.
Same. I think that's just some of the ways a lot of these things are.
The TV to know what's going on the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you don't have, even if you want to know what goes on, you don't have to watch the Oscars.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just,
or you could be doing literally anything else, and you'll still know, like, and the Oscar goes to.
Yeah, and that's some of the fun of it. But
how long is the? I mean, the Golden Globes is like 3 hours, right?
Yeah, and sometimes the Golden Globes drags too. I mean, these things are going to drag. Fucking a Super Bowl game drags.
Yeah, the Super Bowl really drags.
Especially when they start repeating the damn commercials. You're just like, I'm done.
What Golden Globes doesn't do a lot of stuff you don't need. I mean, they don't have the musical performances at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, that is true. And they probably need to get rid of that too. Especially if you're going to start picking and choosing songs, get rid of the songs. Like how they did last year, like they picked 3 out of the 5 songs to perform, get rid of them.
Didn't they do all of them?
No, they didn't do all of them. I think they did 3.
I'll just have to look what was nominated. 18. This is so exciting. Me looking up who's on.
Oh yeah, just so great, good stuff.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige performed. They all performed.
They did? I thought they only chose 3.
No, because Mary J. Blige performed. Sufjan Stevens performed. People from Coco performed. I don't really remember the Marshall. They had the Marshall one, and they had This Is Me. I think they've done that in the past where that really irks me. Like you're gonna nominate all these people, and you're not gonna let all of them perform.
Yeah,
that's disrespectful.
That's how I feel about the whole entire presenting off the air. Like, I mean, I don't care if your speech isn't entertaining or whatever. It's just, if you won an Oscar, if you put in the fucking work, you should be able to stand on that stage. You should be able to stand on that stage and say to the world, some of these people are in their little caves. They're working their asses off. They don't, see the light of day because they're editing or making the visual effects that we all enjoy or this or that. They should get their time on the fucking on the podium, or the DPs. They should get their time up there and be able to be like, hey, I won this thing. Look at me, mom. I mean, it's just like you should be able to have your time and not be taken off. The world should see you for what you do. And that's the thing that really bugs me about taking these people off the air.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah, but the popular film one, I think... the popular film one is funny because it's unanimously... Other than, I think Jason Blum is in support of it, and I saw the writer for Doctor Strange. He's kind of walking the line of, this is a good idea, but also maybe I can see where other people are coming from,
Cargill?
No, yeah, Cargill, yeah. It's just, and you should, if you ever want writing tips, you should definitely follow him. But no one likes this. This was met with a lot of vitriol. People were just like, "What the hell are you doing?" And a lot of people used you're ghettoizing the Oscars. And I think that's kind of what it is. And also, you're putting some of these films, and you did it in the wrong year. You definitely did it in the wrong year with Black Panther. You did it was a very bad decision. And also, I think you also did it in the wrong year because of a movie like Mission Impossible Fallout as well. We're getting some very good blockbusters, and there's still some stuff to come too. I think, it's just you're putting these movies at a kiddie table and and you're also making all the other films feel awkward because it's just is the Best Picture winner not popular? Are you going to say this is the popular film? What makes a popular film? Is it box office? Is it what qualifies as a popular film? They haven't told us that yet. It's just a really weird position they've put themselves. And also, allegedly, or I think Disney suggested they do this, which that's also weird because they have Black Panther and they're also buying Fox, so they're going to own a large majority of the studio clout. So it's a lot of weirdness. What are your thoughts on the popular film category?
I mean, I think it's Christopher Tapley. I think he brought it up. Well, he thought it was weird because it seemed like the main reason they did it was Black Panther, and but he said Black Panther was maybe in there already. And they just kind of screwed his chances.
Yeah, I think Black Panther, even Christopher Nolan, no one heard how he said it, but I remember one trade, they were just even Christopher Nolan was just yeah, this movie's, Black Panther's getting nominated for Best Picture next year. And I know you have your different opinions on it, but I think it's very deserving of... I think it is very deserving for that nomination. I think out of any superhero movie so far, I think Incredibles 2 also holds a candle. I know it's probably going to win and get nominated for Best Animated Feature, but I wouldn't also nominate Incredibles 2 for film. I think. Is it going
to get film or popular?
God. Well, I would nominate for animated film, popular film, and Best Picture, because I guess we can do that now.
But yeah, because I think whatever wins, I think we just have to see how the year goes. But I think popular film comes down to A Star Is Born versus Black Panther, and whatever is nominated in Best Picture, unless they're both nominated, then it doesn't matter.
But
that wins.
Don't you think it would be weird if just theoretically, what if the popular picture is the same thing as the Best Picture and they both win?
So you mean if A Star Is Born won both of them, or Black?
Exactly. Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, yeah, it'd be annoying.
Yeah,
but it'd be equality at least. People can't really complain.
Yeah, that's true. It's just really weird clapping. You're just like, well, I guess this is what we wanted. It is the best picture and the most popular picture. So, shit. All right, so maybe that is the way to do it.
Yeah, but it's so embarrassing.
It is. I mean, you're degrading yourself in what an Oscar means for, because what do you consider an Oscar film? Like, what in your opinion, what do you consider to be the tier of what qualifies a movie for an Oscar?
Just I guess just excels in its particular category of what it sought out to do, because you have like a movie like Mad Max where you're like, okay, it got nominated because it's seen as one of the best action movies ever made. Like, the story's kind of simple, but it's fine because it wasn't trying to it wasn't trying to be that, which I think is where the Revenant got hurt, because the Revenant had all these like technical aspects behind it, and Leonardo DiCaprio doing everything he possibly could to get an Oscar. But it's like the story being weaker for that hurts it more than the story being weaker did for Mad Max. Because Mad Max is like throwing more in your face, and the Revenant's more somber. So it just depends on, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound snooty, but there are movies I like, or I really like, that I would be like, yeah, it's a great movie, but I don't think it should be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. And that is a problem when it comes to the Oscars, of not trying to sound snooty. Like, like in my opinion, I think what you said earlier, what you just said, I never really even thought about, like, a film that excels in its genre or in what it's trying to do within itself. I like that. I never really thought about it, so I would apply that as well, and also resonance, how it stays with you, and of course quality as well. But I think what's the movies that we remember are the movies that always resonate with us, and it's hard to say this also. It's kind of hard to say, but movies that, and it's hard to even decide, but movies that you definitely think, what's going to stand the test of time?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know what won Best Picture 10 years ago. Just 2018?
Yeah, it was 2008.
So maybe The Social Network, but like those are just like,
that didn't win.
I know it didn't win, but I remember The Social Network.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember what it won. I remember
King's Speech that year.
The King's Speech, okay, but like, I mean, what won last year? Oh, The Shape of Water. But I think The Shape of Water is a movie that will stand a test of time. But
I think Shape of Water is appeasing to both sides.
Yeah. But I think like Mad Max, you're gonna remember that movie. There's certain things like Moonlight. I don't know. I don't know if I want to remember Moonlight in 10 years. And look, in Moonlight, it might not be for me. I think other people. If you are gay, I think that might connect with you a little bit more, and that might resonate with you a little bit more. But I like this. It's resonant. It's quality. It's technical. I think it also is story. I think the Oscars have kind of more leaned toward statements and also political statements, sometimes things that need to be talked about right now, which that's one of the reasons I like Spotlight. I like Spotlight.
I think it's gimmicks too, to a degree.
I think it is to a degree too. Sometimes it is a bit gimmicky. But yeah, sometimes with the movies that hits, but at the same time, I think Oscar movies also do need to appreciate entertainment value too, because those are things you do return to. Like, what are the movies you are going to return to as well? But I also think someone on Screen Junkie said this as well. Like, do you think we've kind of been programmed to in a way to think that this is an Oscar film?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's one thing I really want to kind of get out of. Because, like, even in my head, or, you know, even since I was little, it's just like, this is the particular type of Oscar film. Whenever I think about it, it's high drama. It's someone flipping a fucking table over an argument or something. It's just like, don't you do that, don't you touch her, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, well, it's just a lot of people just screaming, pretty much. Also, like, heads low, low lighting, just, you know, someone's bearded in a corner, just like, I don't know what life is, but it's beautiful. You know, just some shit like that. I mean, I don't know, but it's just like, you know, or family dramas or dramedies or just something like that. It's just, it's common people just in a room somewhere in a house. You know, it's very indie-ish.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of saying about Mad Max that I veered away from, is because until that got nominated at the Golden Globes, I did not think of that being an Oscar player at all. Like, but like it, and it doing so well, and it being like, I kind of just wanted it to win on the basis of like, okay, this isn't your typical Oscar movie. Like, I like the movie well enough, but I was like, okay, that would be an interesting. But then it goes to Spotlight, which is like, it's good, but it's very like by the numbers Oscar movie.
Which I like the Spotlight, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Mad Max. It's not even like, that's one of the reasons that I was rooting for Shape of Water. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons even Dunkirk. I wasn't rooting for Dunkirk, but Dunkirk, that would have been nice, because it isn't. That's not something you would necessarily see at the Oscars, or even Avatar. When Avatar got nominated, I was like,
I was gonna bring up Avatar too.
It's like, holy shit, that has an explosion in it, and that has blue people. You're like, holy shit.
Well, I think that's just a testament to James Cameron and how much he can get done too, because I'm curious if Avatar like wasn't James Cameron, but it was still the same movie. I don't think it would have.
Or District 9. District 9 is another one.
Yeah, District 9. Which, yeah, because we kind of, District 9 came about, like, there were other movies that could name that year too, but District 9, like, with the whole Best Picture thing, came about from these people complaining about that Dark Knight didn't get in.
Yeah.
And then they made it to 10, which I like that they do the up to 10 now, because I think that was a problem when they just nominated a movie just to fill in a spot.
I think they should go back to 10. I think moving into like what do you think needs to be changed about the Oscars? And I think that is something. I think they should go to 10. I think there are way too many movies that come out a year, quality films of all genres, and that's one of the things I think. It's the Academy. It's the Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Sciences. Movies are a lot more and I think the Oscars are also very predictable. Like, sometimes I don't like looking at the film festivals and just like being like, yep, that's going to be nominated, First Man, definitely. This movie, Boy Erased, definitely. This movie right over here, definitely is going to get nominated, because that's just the type of movie that they look at. They need to expand their view a little bit. I think they very much need to expand, like, bring in genre, bring in horror, bring in everything, there's great comedies, well-made comedies that you can bring in, and I think that you can expand it to 10 films and hit every single thing, and it actually hit movies that people see, because it's really not fair that a movie can open in December and open in New York and LA and get nominated. Because, of course, people aren't going to watch the Oscars if a movie called Moonlight they didn't fucking see. Or, you know, and sure,
what
sometimes No, but I'm just saying, like, if you want more people to watch the Oscars, you can't just nominate movies that no one's heard of sometimes. Like, if you have 10 slots, you can put in films. And I'm not just saying throw in a film. I'm saying throw in a film that is of quality, that is good, that is deserving, that is one of the best films that people laud as one of the best films of the year, but they won't vote for because that's not an Oscar movie. You should put those votes down and put those movies in, that you can have a mixture together. Like, if you have a Mission Impossible Fallout in those nominations, maybe someone looking at that list that doesn't typically watch the Oscars be like, oh, Mission Impossible Fallout's in there. What's this movie called? Whatever. What's Eighth Grade? What's that? If Mission Impossible is a part of this list, I wonder what's Eighth Grade. These are the 10 best movies of the year. I wonder what that is.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's that fair to, get on a movie that, to say, oh, people haven't heard of this. I'm not sure what you were saying, but,
I'm just looking at it in a way, if they want, because they obviously want more people watching. I think that is a way to kind of, I don't necessarily, I think some of the best movies out there are niche or haven't been seen. That's fine. There's nothing against that movie or against that, but it's just if you want more people in there, if you want more viewership, maybe mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of the double standard that they've gotten into, where it's yeah, you some of these type of movies, but it's just you gravitate towards the ones George Miller, former multiple Oscar nominee and winner. He made a Mad Max, or 3-time Oscar winner James Cameron made Avatar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be smarter to, which I think we're getting into more with the campaigning Get Out did for a year and then look at all its success.
Yeah, that's another thing. Stop just looking at December and it starts in October to December. Stop just looking at that time frame. There are a lot of movies that come out that need that attention, that need that drive, that can get nominated. I was really happy that Grand Budapest Hotel made it in there that year, because that was a great film, and I'm glad.
But again, Wes Anderson.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is very, very true.
But yeah, I think Get Out is a great example of us moving forward with this type of stuff, because Jordan Peele, who was he? Comedian, writer,
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, Greta Gerwig. She had established herself as a writer, but she hadn't really gone around in the awards circuit until Lady Bird.
Yeah, so it's. Is there anything that you would want to see from this change from the Oscar race, or what type of films you would like to be put in there?
Just like I was saying about widening your scope with looking at some of the more movies that you clearly like those type of movies, just not always when they're directed by people like Mission Impossible Fallout. But I don't know if. But that.
Well, Macquarie's also won an Oscar.
That's true. So yeah, it just depends on the movie. But I would say, this has been a popular thing. I would say, if you want to include bigger films, do a stunt category.
Yeah.
Because then you get, because that's an important part of those movies.
I think casting also.
Yeah, I can see that, because that's these people are oh, well, the director does it. Yeah, but the director is involved with the script too, even if he doesn't write it. So. Yeah,
I think we need to move off the whole entire director is the end all be all. It's thousands of people that collaborate. It's not just him or her that do this thing. So
yeah, I would say
your scope there.
Yeah, stunt and because that's recognized at the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, motion capture needs to become a thing sooner or later. That.
I don't know if that's better for, because I feel if you make a category of that, I feel that's just the popular.
Or you think it just needs to be? Well, I think
just integrate it.
I think that's a lot of this. And just integrate it in there. These movies don't.
But if you want it recognized, then it might just have to be its own category.
True, but that just goes back to the popular film thing.
Yeah,
I think that's why some
I
people...
just mean I don't think that should, but I just think if you want it all, it just might have to.
Yeah, because that's why some people...
At least at first, until it just...
Because when it was first announced, that's kind of the side I was on. It's just like, this might just... Unfortunately, this might be the only way that a movie like Black Panther gets nominated. Because the Oscars are just, sometimes so up at their ass. It's just like, ugh, superhero movies. Ugh. But when it's just like, some of these movies are actually pretty damn good. I mean, I'm sorry that they're... they have CGI or they're shot on green screen or whatever. It's just like, they're not organic enough, but it's just like, well, that's just how some of these movies are made. People can't fly. I'm sorry. So, just widen your scope a little bit and just look at the story, look at the work. There's certain things that the Russo brothers can do that, maybe Paul Thomas Anderson can't do. I mean, well, that sounds crazy. What am I talking about? No, but just on the technical level, and that just goes vice versa. So, I mean, it goes back to widening your scope and including everything, because we're celebrating film. Film is not just drama. It's not just drama and dramedies and documentaries and period pieces. They're not just that. It's everything. Even a horror movie horror is really standing up as well. I think a lot of horror movies that come out these days, and horror movies and superhero movies are kind of that are really getting made and replacing that mid budget film. So that mid range film. So I think just celebrate that a little bit more if you want to get more people in, and also just be fair to some of these movies.
Yeah.
But just one more thing to close this out. What films out of this year, let's just say up to, what is it, August now? What films do you think would be worthy, that you've seen this year, that are worthy to belong in that top 10?
Like my personal top 10, or what?
If there was one movie, the Oscars are tomorrow. The Oscar nominations are what is the best picture winner of this year?
See, that's the thing going. I would say Thoroughbreds, but I don't really see that as the best picture winner. So I would say, I guess, 8th grade. But you can go ahead. Okay.
No, I'm asking you questions that I have no idea the answer to.
So neither of us know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8th grade, Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, like I said, Black Panther. I think Three Identical Strangers. I guess it's nominations. I'm not going to pick winner. That's too hard of a question. Sorry to bother you. I'm sorry, Miller, but that movie deserves some nomination. Sorry to bother you. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, Mission Impossible.
Which I think has a chance. Mission Impossible Fallout, Blind Spotting a little bit. Annihilation, I think, would be a great film. Unsane, just from the technical standpoint and what Soderbergh was able to get. Claire Foy, I think, is as an actress, I think she deserves a Best Actress award. Not award, nomination. What's another one? Oh yeah, Black Panther. I think the cast of Black Panther. I think A Quiet Place is another movie that can be thrown in there. I didn't really like the movie. You Were Never Really Here. I think, well, that's probably an Oscar movie, but still, I'm just gonna say it. But I think Joaquin deserves some.
Ready Player One movie.
Yeah, Ready Player One. That's a great blockbuster. Rampage. No, I'm joking. Don't do that.
What was the other one? I mean, if you wanted to... No, never mind.
You better not say Fallen Kingdom.
Why would I say... I don't even like Fallen Kingdom that much. I just don't think people pay attention enough to it. People, tuned out at a certain point. They just stopped paying attention.
Is that their fault, or is that the movie's fault?
I'm just saying, the movie's providing answers to the questions you're answering. There you go. Or you're asking. There you go.
I'm sure they did. But is there anything else you would like throw into the hat of nominations or anything?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Infinity War. Just like what I was saying earlier about the like setting out to reach the goal you trying to achieve.
Yeah. I think Infinity War, if anything, I don't know. I think it might just be the programming that I'm trying to get out of, because it's hard for me to say like Infinity War deserves any type of Oscar, but it might just be the thing of this like, well, that's not an Oscar movie, you know. It's just, I mean, it's still a pretty damn good movie, and I think with, if anything, it deserves screenwriting, because that is miraculous what that movie did.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Especially the writers, especially like hearing what they.
Because I don't think Best Picture is enough, but the screenplay would like encompass everything.
Yeah, because especially hearing what they had to do starting out, like moving stuff around, you know, trying to figure out what actors we have, this and that, and also the fact that the movie works, like it or hate it, the fact that the thing is cohesive at all is outstanding. So I think McFreely and Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFreely, really deserve some love there. But yeah, I think that's.
But yeah, if the Oscar nominations were tomorrow, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, probably. There would definitely be a lot of popular films, so I don't know if they'll all be good, but
yeah, there'd be like 5 Best Picture nominees and 10 popular films.
Yeah. Do you think Hereditary has any chance?
Maybe. I don't know. A24 has really gotta push it if they want to, because they're already going to be doing Jonah Hill's movie.
Oh. So, 94, 97?
Yeah, whatever.
Mid-90s.
Yeah, mid-90s. They're already going to be pushing that, and I can't remember. Slice is not going to have any sort of Oscar presence.
Slice?
Yeah, it's like...
The hell is Slice?
Chance the Rapper plays a pizza delivery guy.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's A24.
I'm not.
Let's just want some elaborate prank. But yeah, I doubt that's not going to be anything. It looks like they're trying to bury it too.
I wanted to say...
Does A24 have anything else coming out?
Not that I know of. I also wanted to say, damn it, what the fuck is that movie's name? Tully. Charlize Theron for Tully.
Oh, yeah. That opened up a lot of conversations.
Yeah, I think she deserves some love too.
I see that as like a Golden Globe nominated performance, but because I think we have.
We're talking about real awards, Miller.
Shut up. He's like Cameron Jackson, like he hit the nail on the head when he's like the Golden Globe nominees for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy will be Elsie Fisher.
Sam Jackson said that?
Lights Cameron Jackson.
Oh!
Yeah,
why was Samuel Jackson talking about this?
But yeah, Elsie Fisher, Lily James, Lady Gaga. Trying to think who. Maybe I can just go look back at who he said, because I remember like thinking that was really smart. Emily Blunt and
what?
Mary Poppins.
Ugh.
Darren, that's gonna be fucking huge.
Oh, God. You nominate Emily Blunt for that and not A Quiet Place?
Musical or comedy?
That's what I'm saying, Joe. They're in a
she
drama.
Should get both.
What the fuck?
And Constant with Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm not sure about that, but
yeah,
that could be. It seems like it could be a really big movie, and
I think it's gonna be.
She's a good actress. I mean, yeah, it's going to be, but yeah, I think that list is pretty accurate, to be honest. Around that, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Oscars, don't stop changing. Stop changing yourself for. I mean, the Oscars are relevant. I don't know. It's just a really weird. Don't ghettoize yourself, man. Just be you, and just nominate films that aren't your typical bunch. Do you have anything else to say, Miller?
No.
All right. Just wanna. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.
If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, and also if you have any comments on what the Oscars are doing, please leave some comments below how you would change it, how you think it should change, or if the Oscars should change at all, or if you like the popular film category. Please let us know in the comment sections below. If you like this video, like I said before, give us a like. If you like hearing us talk about movies and you like the podcast, please subscribe to the channel for more. And with all that being said, I'm Darren Lester Jr., and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.